Hi everyone, it's Tamara here with another card making tutorial. This time I'm using the gorgeous fun set from Wondering Wabbit Wise Guys. I'm going to be doing some Copic colouring of just the image. I did the background off camera, and then I'm going to be making an interactive card to make this gorgeous little wise guy float up into the air with his balloon. So we'll start with some colouring and then we'll make the interactive card. I've taken some measurements on the back of the card so that I know what size pull tab I need to create to slide up in between my 3D foam. So I've just grabbed out a piece of blue cardstock and I'm going to trim that down to size. I will have all the measurements in the description box below for this card. So I'll just give that a little trim, and I'm going to make two because I like to make sure I've got a nice strong pull tab. So I'll glue these two together to create a really good solid tab. Now I learned this technique from the amazing Laura Davalo, who just makes the most awesome interactive cards. So yeah, if you wanted to check out the original, pop over and see Laura Davalo's. Now I just need to create a little opening up the top so the recipient finds it a lot easier to pull that tab in and out. So I've just grabbed a small circle die and just placed that halfway up the top of the card and run that through my die cutting machine. So that will cut a half circle and will make it really easy to pull that pull tab in and out. Now I'll just line up this pull tab on the back of my card and just pop a little bit of tape down the bottom just to hold that in place while I put my 3D foam tape on either side. You only need one layer of foam tape for this particular type of card. So I'm just kind of butting that up right against that pull tab on both sides. So I just measure roughly how long I need and make sure that's kind of even with that pull tab. And we'll just grab a little bit down the bottom to form as a stopper. So now that will slide perfectly up and down. Now I had these square magnets in my stash and I'm just going to put some double-sided adhesive and get that applied to the back of the wise guy's head. Now I will be placing two lots of magnets, one on his head and one on the balloon. As Laura showed in her video, it is best to have kind of two contact points for your magnets, otherwise your image can actually like spin around a little bit. So I'll attach this one to his head. I did try and do the same kind of magnets on the background, but they just weren't strong enough to be able to slide him up and down. So I got these other stronger magnets out and that worked much better, but it's still perfectly fine to use these other magnets on the back of the image. So I've grabbed the pull tab and just putting it on the front of my panel so I can see exactly where I need to set out my little wise guy and where he needs to stand and where I need to put the magnets on that actual pull tab itself. So I've just marked those with a pen and I've got my two magnets out. I've put on double-sided adhesive. So we'll get the first magnet pop down, which will be behind his head, and the one for the balloon on that side as well. Now to already put the square one on his head, I've also trimmed another square one down just round to match in with the back of that balloon. So we'll get that attached and now we're ready to get this all connected up. So we'll just pop that on the back and make sure that's in place and we'll just give it a test drive before we actually get everything attached to the card base. So now you can see he just floats up into the air and it looks like magic because there's no openings that you can see, just those magnets secretly working behind. Now I've already pre-cut and scored a blue slimline card base, and again I will have the measurements in the description box below. And because I've only got one layer of foam tape on this, I just wanted to create that opening again but on the card base so that it is still easy for that recipient to pull that tab up and down. So again I've grabbed that small half circle, put it halfway on the actual circle itself and run that through my die cutting machine to create that matching opening. So that will make it really easy to pull that in and out. So I've popped my pull tab in there, just going to partially pull off these release papers on my foam tape and hold that pull tab in place while I line this up on the front of my card base. So it is a little bit awkward, but you can get in the end, and it is always good just to only half do those release papers, and that way you can make sure you can lift it up if it's not in the right place. So now that's secured down, we can grab our little wise guy, pop him on the front, and now he floats up perfectly to the top of the card. Now initially I printed the sentiment onto my background panel, but when I did my ink blending it kind of made it a little bit hard to read because of the dark blue. So I printed on white cardstock and just cut it out with a sentiment strip and now that sentiment stands out nice and brightly on the front of that card. And this is the finished card for this tutorial. These wise guys are super cute, and they come with some awesome sentiments as well. I do use the actual Sweet November Stamps background digi builder, so you can create it in all different sizes for your projects, and make sure to check that out as well. I hope you've enjoyed this card making tutorial. If you have, please hit the like button, and if you'd like to see any future videos, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.